this tutorial, I will be showing you how to book an appointment for patients. I'll announce this here. The front desk staff know this already, but moving forward, we will be making all patients an appointment, even walk-ins. We're doing this because it's a way for the front desk staff to communicate with the nurses in the back, as well as another way to have what services each patient is receiving charted or written down somewhere. So if you want to, we can completely ditch the kind of handwritten order slips that we're doing now. If you still like those and if the nurses still want those, that's totally fine with us. But this is just another form of documentation to make sure that the nurses remember who got what. All right, that being said, how to make an appointment. You want to make sure that you're up here on the calendar. It should look like this. Sometimes if there's two nurses working, it will look like this. But in order to make an appointment, you just click anywhere around the time. So say it's 11 a.m. and a patient walks through the door. You'll click at 11 a.m. and you'll go over, this screen over here will pop up and you will type in their name. And if they're an existing patient, their name should pop up. And if they're a new client, just click on Add Client and walk through. It'll prompt you here, last name, phone number, email. We are interested in how patients are finding us, mostly because our marketing team is trying to collect some data on, what they're doing and what's working. But it's not a big deal, but if you remember to ask how people have heard about us, you can write a little note there like Instagram or through a friend or whatever. And then below that, you'll see you can add a service. So whatever they'd like to get, say they come in and they want to get a Radiant Beauty IV bag, you can just click on that. Also, another feature here, which is pretty important, is say they want to get a Radiant Beauty, but they want to add B6. You click on Add Options, and you can add B6, and then you can keep adding things. So we have all of our things that we're able to add into the IV bag under here. We also have a hydration boost, so if they want lactated ringers instead of our normal saline water, you can click on lactated ringers. If they want to get a glutathione push, you can see our glutathione add-on options. This is distinctly different from our glutathione service options, which, as you guys should know, is a little bit more expensive because it requires the nurse's time and to poke into the tubing and everything. But if you're already getting an IV, this is where you should add the glutathione push afterwards, as well as these higher doses of magnesiums, which do require a doctor's note. That's why I put that as a header, just so that we don't forget that. But yeah, if somebody's cleared to get 2 grams of magnesium, here's where you would add it. And this is not only telling the nurses in the back what to add to the IV bag, but it's also adding to the price. So the prices of each of these things is added directly into this appointment as well. So once you've added everything, all the services that they want to get, as well as everything in the IV bag that they'd like, you can go ahead and press Book Appointment. As you can see here, there's like some darker blue and then some lighter blue here in the middle, as well as some darker blue at the end of this appointment as well. That is just showing that the nurse will be busy at the beginning of the appointment, getting the IV, making the IV bag, poking, getting the IV set up, getting the patient started dripping. But then once they're done with that, for the most part, they have some time free to, give injections to other patients or get more IV bags going or check on other patients. So it's just signifying that the nurses may be more free in this lighter blue time. And then as you see at the end here, it's dark blue again because the patient requires the nurse to take the IV out, which requires their attention. Yeah, so that is how you will book an appointment. And we can just go straight through onto how to check a patient out. So once you book patient's appointment, you then can go up here to these 3 little dots in the right-hand corner, and you can click on those, and you can go down to checkout. And once you're at checkout, here's where, if say they're buying a Be Well supplement, that would be in here, as well as some of our skincare products if they're buying any elastin, or there might be some other things in here, but for the time being, it'll just be the skincare and the Be Well supplements. This might look a little bit different because this is technically Malibu's products, which might be a little bit different than what you're used to. And this is also the time where you would add the discount. Say somebody is a senior, say this patient is a senior, you'll click on the More option and you'll go down to Offer, and you'll find the discount in here. I actually just noticed that I have not entered the senior discount, but it will be here once this is live. So here's where you can add discounts. And then once everything's added, products and discounts, all the services should be added directly to the appointments, but unfortunately we cannot add the products to the appointments, nor the discounts or anything like that. So those products and discounts, as well as gift cards and other things, need to be added at checkout through this More option. So once everything's been added, you can just click go to payments, and here are payment options. Another little thing that I need to add that's not here yet, but there'll be a little button that says self-checkout. That will be the button that you press in order to notify the card reader that is attached to our system to turn on. And then once the card reader turns on, then the person can pay with card. There's also patients will have cards on file. So if there'll be a credit card button, if you press on credit card, if that patient has a card on file, you can directly charge the credit card on file. But if they pay in cash, you can press cash, check, they'll have Venmo or a gift card. So there's multiple ways for patients to pay, and there'll be ways to track that. So in the past, we haven't had a way to track Venmo, but if somebody Venmos us, please press Venmo, and then we'll be able to know that they Venmoed us.